Board of Elections and Registration, call this meeting to order. Gary Norman, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think everybody had an opportunity to read over the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? That brings us to approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to amend the agenda to delete the new business, the executive session, and minutes for the executive sessions. We do have a chairman here with us tonight.
Joe Smithson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any nays? All right. So-
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. That brings us now to public comments. Before we do that, though, I just want to remind everybody we do have a public participation policy. I'm not going to bore you guys with reading the whole thing, just a reminder, at 5 minutes each, 30 minutes total. Go ahead.
Mike, thank you. Board, thank you for allowing me to speak a few minutes. My name is Gary Norman. I'm a citizen of Pickens County. And so there's no misunderstanding on exactly what I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to read a short, brief statement. You have to ask yourself, why are we here? Back on June 8th, a group of Pickens County citizens asked the Pickens County Board of Elections to consider doing a complete hand recount audit of the paper ballots for the Republican governor and Secretary of State primary races. The request was simple and straightforward. The guiding purpose was to build confidence and trust in our voting system. That same evening, after the public comments, the board agreed the request was reasonable and would take the next steps, but wanted to do it right. Then on July 19th, the board voted 3-1 to move forward with a petition to unseal the ballots for the complete hand recount audit. But that never happened. For almost 4 months, our disappointment and concern has grown. The citizens understood the board needed time to do the audit properly. Unfortunately, we didn't know the board would oppose Chris Mora's petition to unseal the ballots that its own attorney recommended. We all ask ourselves, why is the process so difficult? What is there to hide? If the board approved the recount, who worked so hard to stop us? On September 9th, the citizens of Pickens County learned officially in court before Superior Court Judge Brantley that the Board of Election members were still eager to do the requested hand recount. Last Friday, September 30th, the Mora lawsuit was dismissed by Judge Brantley. Unfortunately, we also learned that the board's attorney stated many reasons why that could not happen right away. How new rules were needed, which would create more delay. Now is the time for the Board of Elections to do the right thing for the citizens of Pickens County and to uphold the moral commitments made when taking their oath of office. We, the citizens of Pickens County, recognize your service through the oath made to the people. I would like to remind you of the oath that you took when you joined the board. This duty is to the citizens of Pickens County, not to the Secretary of State or the governor, but to the people in this room. These citizens and all of the citizens in this county are counting on you to do this. Or, and I hate to say this, or surrender your seat to someone who will. So, where do we go from here? Early voting starts on October 17th. It doesn't make sense to audit the 2022 primary anymore. If the Board of Elections is truly eager to conduct the hand recount audit, as we learned on September 9th, then let's work together in a productive, common sense way. We are suggesting that the Pickens County Board of Elections, under its own authority, without outside influence or the need of judicial approval, hand count the November 8th Governor and Secretary of State races at the same time it processes them through the Dominion voting system. Not a risk-limiting audit, but a concurrent count of the paper ballots. The ballots are available and unsealed when being transferred from the scanner to the bins. It would be a simple matter to hand tally those ballots when taking them out of the scanner box, and before they are then placed in a sealed bin. We believe the board has the authority under Georgia OCG Code 21-2-70 to empower its election supervisor to count the paper ballots as part of its duty to ensure an accurate election. You will have the time. The last thing I want to state is...
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Are you almost done?
Almost done.
All right, I'll give you a little
Give me
bit.
1 minute.
All right.
Elections have consequences and must have confidence that our elections are done right. We, the citizens of Pickens County, are counting on this board to ensure that this election has the right outcome. If the Board of Election doesn't act now and decisively, then many patriotic, knowledgeable citizens of Pickens County will have little faith in this Board of Elections, will have diminished trust in the county government and lack of confidence in the voting process. More importantly, it will have sent a message that it does not take a job seriously, that it does not think it's important to show the citizens they can trust the voting process. This board should send a clear message that it has our back and that we should have confidence on Election Day and go to the ballots and cast our votes. Yes, elections have serious consequences. Will each of you please do the right thing for the citizens of Pickens County? Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Anybody else? Chris?
Gone back and forth over the last couple days, knowing that I'm sure what the narrative would be with an official statement or whatnot from the board. Also with some of the discussions I had with some of the people in the community, I think it's still important that we get some clarification on just what this board can do. Because if it's not, and it's just administrative, then we don't need a board in Pickens County. We can hire someone to help Stacy and her crew. If it's a matter of voting on the cleaning crew or who's gonna come pick up bins. Because if we can't do what the board appears wants to do, or a majority of what wants to do, like I said, we don't need a board of elections. So, as I've gone back and forth, and Mr. Chair, or it's to say interim chair, may I present this to you?
Yeah.
This is an order of dismissal by stipulation. So this way, we don't have to wait 30 days for worrying about an appeal. Your attorney signs that and files that. There's nothing in its way to do what you request your attorney to do.
Bill, should I give this to you? Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Anyone else? Go ahead.
I'm Derek Meyer. I'm a fairly new resident to Pickens County. I just want to express, just in my short time living in the county, that I do have concern about the voting process, and I feel in support of what Mr. Norman was bringing up about asking you all to support a hand recount November 8th. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
I want to give this a go. I'm Brian Benson. I've been in Pickens County for about 3 years. And I'm 63 years old. And last month was the first time I'd ever attended an election board meeting. The meeting was about 20 to 25 minutes. And 80% of the meeting was discussing custodial care of the election facilities. I would like to use that as an illustration. Say 6 months from now, the person in charge of the election department, is that Ms. Godfrey? Okay. Calls you and says that the custodial work is not being performed. The trash cans are overflowing, the floor has never been swept or vacuumed, the sinks are covered up with soap scum, toilets are so bad that the employees are going down to the laundromat down the street because the restrooms are cleaner there. You say to Ms. Godfrey that you will call the custodial contractor, and as a group, you call them up. Let me assign a fictitious name to make things easier to follow, Mr. Spaffenruger. You say, Mr. Spaffenruger, we need to speak about the custodial work done at the election offices. And Mr. Spaffenruger says, we are so proud of the work that we are doing at the election offices. Trash cans are empty, the floors are spotless, scrubbing bubbles barely know what to do work on since the sinks are so clean. The toilet, let me tell you, it is so clean you could probably eat off it, but you wouldn't really want to. I tell you, the custodial work is second to none. It is the most fair and secure cleaning job done at any elections office in this country. And so you respond to Mr. Spaffenruger, and thank you for the work you're doing here. That clears things up for us. And now you call Mr. Godfrey back. We spoke to Mr. Spaffenruger, and he says our offices are the cleanest in the land. Ms. Godfrey disagrees. Come down here and take a look. It's filthy. No, we don't need to. We have the assurances of Mr. Spaffenruger. You need to accept our viewpoint. She objects. I'll send pictures. This is horrid. Ms. Godfrey, we understand you may have some slight objections, but we consider the matter closed. But you also know this, we value your opinion because you are important to us. If you have any issues, please feel free to come to us and we'll help you resolve them. I'm sure you wouldn't treat her like that, but personally, as a citizen of Pickens County, I feel treated like that my opinion doesn't matter. And so as a citizen of Pickens County, I do have faith problems in our elections. I'm not alone. I belong to several Pickens or Jasper Facebook groups. And although I'm not on there much, I've seen several posts about elections. Invariably, there is a comment similar to Pickens elections have been fixed for a long time. I'm not asking to invalidate anything. I'm not asking to redo anything. The only thing I'm asking, and I believe others are asking for, is to prove the elections are fair. Please, prove me wrong. Do the recount for Mr. Mora that Mr. Mora is asking for, and to prove us, the many skeptics, that the elections are truly are fair and honest and accurate like you claim. Thank you.
Sir. Anyone else? All right, moving on. So, for old business, and I'm going to read a statement, which the board would like to update the public regarding the pending litigation with Chris Mora. George Brantley entered his order on Friday, September 30th, 2022, and that begins a 30-day period for petitioner to appeal. If there is no appeal, then the board will be free to address its July 19th action to write a court order to be written by legal counsel to unseal the May 24th primary ballots. Thanks. That brings us to staff comments.
Our office just finished LNA testing last week. We started poll worker training on Monday, and we will continue until Thursday. Just to let the board know, we have another new liaison. Her name is Amanda Deering. She's with Bartow County. Our office currently has 295 absentee ballots that are ready to be mailed on October the 11th, but we still have more to enter in, so the number will increase. And just a couple reminders, the deadline to register to vote or change your address for the November election is October the 11th. After that date, no new voters or address changes will be entered until after the possible runoff election in December. Advanced in-person voting begins October the 17th and goes through November the 4th. It will be at the Rec Center. It'll be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then the 2 Saturdays, it will be from 9 until 5. October the 28th is the last date to submit an absentee ballot application. And then election day is November the 8th. We do have a possible runoff, which will be December the 6th. That's all I have.
Questions? No. How many absentees?
Right now, we have 295 ready to be mailed, but we're still entering some in the system, so the number will go up.
And that was it, okay. So, board comments.
Okay.
I have nothing. So I will, I guess we'll go ahead and, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Meeting's adjourned at 6:48.